their nuclear capabilities since the 12-day war, Operation Midnight Hammer. We do know that they had enriched uranium. We do know they had ballistic missiles. They could deliver a dirty bomb for sure. And it was just a matter of time. I think the thing is, for this president, unlike all of his predecessors, going back to 1979, to say once and for all, we're done with this threat. We want a peaceful and prosperous Middle East we can work with, was a very gutsy and courageous move. And I do think long-term geopolitically, whether it be the Abraham Accords, the normalization between Saudi and Israel, to energy prices. You'll see a free access to the Straits of Hormuz as well, where currently you have a terror tax on it.
Right. Oh, I wanted to ask you about that. Less gutsy, perhaps. Our allies, President Trump saying been rejected. He's been rejected by NATO for help. Europeans are saying we don't want to get in. It's not our war, although that's their oil. Do you see, Congressman McCaul, a prolonged closure of the Strait of Hormuz?
No, I don't. And it's unfortunate that our allies are going to make us do this alone when they are the major beneficiary. We're a net gain producer of oil in the United States, so it's in their best interest to stick up for us in our time of need, when particularly they benefit from this more than we do, to open up the Straits of Hormuz. I think our military, in the estimates I've had, are doing a great job clearing the sea mines, taking care of the naval operations and the vessels that can threaten the straits. I think eventually you're going to see escort carriers going through the Straits of Hormuz. But the drones are really the biggest issue right now. We're learning a lot, actually, from the Ukrainians, who I applaud for bringing in their technology, which is far more innovative and less expensive than the $1 million of interceptors that we have.
There's some big wins by the IDF, sir, announced today. They took out the top security chief, Ali Lajani, and another major commander here. So they're making serious moves. Of course, we're a ways away from where there is a new regime. But as we look towards that and the potential for Iran and the people who have been under oppression for so long to be within our generation of having that. Talk to us about how you see some of the battlefield playing out with some of the tactical responses, whether it be the next step into Karg Island, but really how to end this once and for all, to never have to go back in another few years and deal with Iranian oppression.
Well, I think the most dangerous job in the world is to be one of the top commanders of the IRGC now. And whoever takes this gentleman's place will be on the target list of Mossad. There are two things going on here, Bianca. One is our military operation, Epic Fury, which is going quite well and ahead of schedule, I should say. The bombing of Karg Island, which is the crown jewel controlling 90% of Iranian exports, really calls checkmate on the supreme leader and can crush the Iranian economy. And so that is all going extremely well. To your point, regime change, nation building has a really bad connotation after Iraq and Afghanistan. I don't think a lot of Americans want boots on the ground in this situation. I do think that Israel is well equipped with Mossad and its intelligence apparatus to decapitate the head of the IRGC and maybe see a path to a new democracy in Iran. And to your point about generational, I grew up, Jimmy Carter failed. We had the Iranian Revolution. President Reagan was the first president I got to vote for. And now we have a president 50 years later almost that's willing to deal with this threat head on, and so that my children and grandchildren won't have to deal with this.
I really appreciate it. I hope you come back and visit us, because I did want to talk to you about DHS funding, which you have also called out for being borderline criminal. They could have blood on their hands. Obviously, we await to see what happens on the Hill. Texas Congressman Michael McCaul. Pleasure, sir. I hope you come back soon.